It's a good enough board gaming table. We have a lot of thoughts. The Origins board game table is one of the most highly rated board game tables out there, and we will take a look because we know a fair bit amount about board gaming tables. Building them, using them, hugging old ones goodbye, we've been there.
Why are you creaking so much?
This is the version 2 of the Origins table, so not the most updated one, but it's completely decked out. Thank you Game Theory Tables for sending it. Cause that frees me up to do some stress testing.
Oh no, my water.
The cost if we bought it? The original price on the website for everything covered is $2,700 for the base table, including cup holders, $800 for the topper, $400 for the custom mat, $400 for the USB chargers. For the accessories, it's all of this. It's a lot of money. That means if you buy everything MSRP, we're talking $4,837, but free shipping though. Again, this is the total price with all the add-ons, but if you just buy it with the topper, this is about $3,500, but free shipping though. Anyways, we're covering everything, so let's go. Assembly. So it first arrives at your house with really nice packaging and all that stuff. Assembly was a little bit on the tricky side, mainly because the table is a big thing, it's heavy.
Right. Okay.
Hold down.
Yeah, I am. Good, good.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm seeing it.
Beautiful.
Okay, okay, good.
Okay.
Okay.
It's definitely a two-person job. I found out the hard way after my manual labor help left that the legs need to be screwed in from the top of the table. So you need to have some sort of sideways configuration to attach them.
This comes in the box. These are literally the same thing. Very well packaged. Like, look at that. Ta-da! Ta-da!
Good, good.
Okay, good.
Good. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. 3, up, and down.
Okay.
Down.
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 Okay.
Down.
I want to put. Wait. Reset.
Reset. Now it's done.
Reset.
Okay.
You don't want to put weight
Yeah.
just on there because you can hear it creaking.
And we needed 3 people to turn it over. Ha 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 ha. Don't call me out on being weak or anything.
Up. Oh, good. Good. Perfect.
All right. Okay.
Watch your feet.
Okay. Much easier, Steven.
Watch your feet.
Okay. Yep. My feet are clear. Yep.
You strong, man. Good. Perfect.
I gotta check whether
Right over there. There you go.
Ah, so that's cool,
Pretty
dude.
cool.
Do you how'd you get this made?
Also, the USB chargers required us to flip over the table again.
Why no fit in?
Why doesn't it just go in here?
Hello?
This makes more sense.
Good hammer. Yeah, it's like there's no scratches.
Hilarious. I love that.
2 out of 16.
2, 3, up, and turn. Okay, now it's good. Good. Good.
I'm really sweaty because this room is hot and we just installed a bunch of stuff on the table, namely this USB charging system. Yeah, so these cables run under the table to over there, which is kind of above your knee. It's right there.
Already encountering our first.
Oh, it's very tight. Okay, it's super tight. Anyways,
Yeah,
this
that-
goes.
that-
This
that- 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 one more time, that- one more
it's a firm fit over there.
Here's a table in all of its glory, and man, it is an impressive looking piece of furniture. We have the American walnut with the toppers too. And that is all made out of ash. That's some good wood. We looked it up, it's supposed to be a very durable wood. The Origins just has an air of purpose to it, dare I say epic. Like I kid you not, every time I walk into this room and the topper is off, I'm super wowed. I almost feel like I'm in Westeros, standing next to a table meant for some dark fantasy intrigue, and to stand around it planning my next sinister war move. For more grounded praise, it would be amazing for D&D to set a good mood. In case you didn't see yet, there's plenty of rounded edges from the edges of the railing to even the legs so you don't stab yourself when walking past. The area frames games well, but I mean that's every board game table, so moving on. The Origins is also pretty decently sturdy. It doesn't budge too much, definitely thanks to these huge chungus table legs here. Speaking of huge, this is definitely the biggest board game table I've ever owned. We've owned a 3-foot by 5-foot Duchess and a slightly smaller Megan table, and having this amount of size, if your room can fit it, feels insanely useful to play practically any game out there. With the topper on too, there's so much room. It's kind of ridiculous how small I feel when sitting at the table, and how bigger games like Brass Birmingham feel dwarfed. As for inside the arena, they hooked us up with a custom play surface. It was very smooth working with the graphic designer there, and both that surface and the neoprene playmat are super comfortable to roll dice on, pick up stuff, and just play games easier on it. I actually like the neoprene playmat look way more, so that's what you'll be seeing most of the time here. So a unique thing about this vault area is that it feels very sturdy to put your weight on, which isn't a common thing to happen in other board gaming tables we've used. Our previous one, the Megan, was 2 lighter pieces of wood on top of wooden slats. The Duchess was plywood screwed in. For the Origins, it's just solid wood like a normal table. Also, the cup holders are good. No complaints there at all. Super nice to just take your drink in and out. Put it in. Easily accessible cup holder there. And then you can put your phone, keys in. No problem at all. So these metal cup holders seem to be exactly the same as ones used for other board game table brands. And now it fits inside this hollow hole right here. I'm pretty sure a drink will never tip over. Okay, let's talk about the rail, because this is a Chungus rail at 5.5 inches as opposed to about 2.25 inches. For our previous ones, that's twice the width. With the bigger width, we can fit the cup holders, but also you get these chip trays where you can store a bunch of your player components while playing. This actually served to be very useful in our games. You can put cards, minis, tokens, or even your phone in them. Huge shout out to the tray mats you can buy to place in each compartment. This is basically a mouse pad for each that puts a nice cushion on your personal components. This forced organization actually had me forego usage of accessories for each player while playing, since everything for your player is probably going to be organized enough with the 2 areas in front of you. The chip tray is actually designed with the card holders in mind, which fit perfectly inside each of the areas, and I didn't really think this was that cool at first, but when using it, I realized that this prevents the card holder from ever tipping over. We will get back to these card holders and chip trays in a bit, but let's just keep moving on for now. Our Origins also came with USB chargers, in fact 8 of them all around the table. They're good quality, maybe a little too tight for my liking, but hey, USB chargers do get looser over time. We're not gonna get too technical with the test, so basically a charge phone well. That's probably most of what you're gonna be using it for. And yes, they light up, but not sure how much I'll be board gaming in the dark, definitely more for RPG usage. The final thing we like is actually a little funny. See, parts of the table are hollow. You take off the edge cap, hollow inside. You take out the cup holder, hollow inside. Okay, so what? Well, this opens up a lot of opportunity for DIY projects to go on the table. Like you could have vertical poles just running through here. That goes all the way down. You could power additional accessories, maybe lights, by running cables through the rails of the table. I mean, if you ever wanted a hollow space in a table, you can go to town here. In fact, maybe you just make your own accessories to put on the edge caps. Maybe you just hide a bunch of money at the table until it's time to use it in a game. Again, you'd have to do all these things yourself, but the possibilities are really nice. Okay, the final kicker, the Origins also came with 20 millimeters of paint, which was really useful in cleaning up the little dings from shipping. We've only had this table for about a month and a half. We tried to play as much as we could on it, about 5 games with different player counts, and we filmed a couple of projects using it. So here we go with the concerns. First are the edge caps, which are actually just too loose when placed on the table legs without the topper. Sure, they're not gonna fall off, but they feel kind of janky, especially noticeable when you want to put your elbow or hand on the corner of the table. The dice tray, tiered tray, and privacy shelf are also the same design for the bottom, and man, while they do look nice when placed, the connections are loose. These are all wood, so it makes sense that it will be expanding and contracting, and so better for the connection to be smaller than bigger so it actually fits in the hole. It just still feels too loose, and maybe another device to help secure it while gaming would have felt less janky. Let's get to the topper. So it's 4 parts, 2 parts like this and 2 parts like this. This one is 16.5 pounds, this one is 17 pounds. With its shape like this, oh my god, it's pretty cumbersome to take on and off this table with one person. It can definitely be done, we've done it many times, but I'm almost 6 foot and my friend is north of that and we just don't have the most fun doing it. I am getting better at it though. We found that the best way is to hold it hot dog style, then gently rest it on the table and then gently slide up. But if you're smaller or want to be more efficient with your energy, just have a friend help you. While we're on the topper, it does shift around a little bit, even when there's magnets connecting them to each other. Thank goodness there's teeth to prevent one topper from falling off entirely. Also, the toppers are still secured on the table through the end cap magnets, although the entire topper has to be on for that. We also weren't too sure how spill resistant the topper is because there was no foam in the topper connections. Our past table toppers did have some foam that made us more confident about spilling water, but those claim to spill resistance, the Origins doesn't. But you might get spills using the topper, so we tested it out ourselves. There's water, put that there.
Oh no, my water is spilled. Oh no. Okay, what? Is the water going through? Huh, that doesn't seem half bad actually. Wait, no, the water is draining down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, can I see how that water absorbs there? So now, that is basically dry. Happens. Oh my. Happens. Oh my. Happens.
Okay, well.
There is water here, and there, and there, and it's all over this rail here. You can see the water is it's just going everywhere. You can see this piece of paper is pretty soaked. And the back is could be worse.
Yeah, definitely not that water resistant, but it's not claiming to be. It's only claiming the play surface is water resistant, which sure it seems to be. Either way, the water was fairly easy to clean up. Hopefully you won't ever spill as much water as I did there. This upcoming concern was the biggest for us. It has to do with this railing system. See, you have all these chip trays in the railing system, right? Fits your pieces, well, but this is actually now 2 edges across your forearms when you put it down to rest on the rail. 2 places right here, it's digging into my forearm. Not a big deal for a couple minutes, a big deal when gaming for an hour or more. This was such a big concern that we consciously adjusted our posture while playing, because we are used to our other gaming tables where the forearm annoyance didn't exist. Also, it's not a chair problem that happened for every chair we used. Then this got us thinking, oh, okay, well maybe this might just be a problem with us and our terrible posture. So your results can definitely vary in terms of forearm irritation. Also, if you're playing something like D&D or a party game where you're looking at each other a lot of the time and not poring over components, you won't be leaning over the rail like us sweaty boys. A kind of jank fix is taking some of the chip playmats and stacking them in the chip tray on our dominant hand side. 4 layers of playmat seem to do the trick. This just means that we'll probably have some other DIY solution in the future, like buying something from a crafting store, still need to work it out. Oh, also if you don't have these smaller playmats, there's a lot of finish underneath. It definitely doesn't feel or look like wood anymore. The last concerns are actually, well, many of the wooden accessories we've been sent. Let's start with these player screens. 2 of the same one. It's wood made out of ash, just like this table and all the other accessories, and it's pretty lightweight. But it's meant to be blocking components. Is that really blocking that much? Not really? Why isn't this wider? I guess I can just use it to block my face? Like, yeah? I guess? Like, don't look at me? Is that what this is for? I've been told that this version of the screen is coming out in a new Kickstarter. Thank goodness, that looks so much better. Next is the card holders, and one of them is printed upside down. So even though they fit perfectly in the player chip section, we found they're way too vertical to be viewed at comfortably. Like compare them to these card holders, or these within another table. You gotta have an angle for the cards, or I mean, I guess you have an insanely short torso, but then how are you playing at this table anyways? In practice, the card holders are still very usable, but it depends on the game you're playing. For games where cards aren't a big focus or don't require much reading, they'll work just fine. See Catan as a great example. Then this tiered tray right here is a really niche accessory in our experience of board gaming. Look at this size right here. It's almost the size of my face. You never need something this big to store that many components while playing. I mean, maybe if you're playing with like a bajillion giant dice, it's okay. To break this thing down, it's 5 trays of wood that are connected through a wooden rod for storage, meant to be stored on the edge of the table, with the bottom having the wooden connection. But then since this top tray has a wooden rod going through it that you can't take out, you have to store it on top of the hollow legs if you use the rest of the trays. But then this doesn't fit too securely. Then the 3 other trays have a flat bottom, so they can't fit in the hollow legs. Why not have every tray have this wooden bottom pattern to fit in the legs? Look, if you do have a need for big wooden trays while playing though, these do the job. I mean, they're just posh wooden trays after all. We're just wondering if the storage could have been handled better. Then the paint on the wooden rod is heavily chipping, and I've been told this could just be because of shipping. The last accessory is the dice tower. It's just so loud. Like plastic dice hitting wood is gonna sound like this. Yeah. There's a reason why most dice towers have felt inside, and if we add a soft neoprene to just the bottom, it cuts a lot of the noise. I've been told that newer dice towers might use some type of cork on the bottom. It fits 6-player TI4. That's all you really need to know. Now I can end the video, right? I mentioned TI4.
You start with whatever side says, like...
That's not back.
Seriously, the Origins is a cool table. Looks-wise, it's very impressive and makes me want to play games. And I mean, board games are a physical thing, so having a place that makes them look good is always going to be fantastic. However, in practice, the railing digging into my forearms is a huge letdown. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to just fix my posture better. My mom will be happy about that. And also just getting something to cover up this area for most games. As the board game reviewer, the size of the Origins actually fits really nicely for my needs. With the topper option, I'm super glad that we can now play any game we throw at it. It makes this room have a greater air of importance to it, but it's not so big to make the room feel congested. However, I will say that the table sometimes feels a bit bloated for smaller 2-player or 3-player games, and we have to be conscious about scooting closer to each other. If you usually play with 2 or maybe 3 people max and don't play gigantic war games or anything like that, this table size featured might be a little too big. And when it comes to board gaming tables in general, I can feel myself leaning towards a more minimalistic approach as I get older, since at the end of the day, I just want to play games and have fun. The Origins certainly works for that, but I find it to be a weird conscious effort to try to use the add-on accessories besides the card holders. I just don't think I'll be using the tiered tray to fit a niche amount of large components per player, or the dice tower when I already have an arena to roll dice, or the privacy shelf I didn't talk about yet. I cannot think of a single board game in my collection I would use that for. Or the USB chargers, since I don't want to plug in 2 power ports from the table when I can just walk to the wall and charge my phone there. And then the player screens, yeah, I still have yet to find an actual use for that. Those are just going to be chilling in the background. The cup holders though, I've always been saying cup holders are awesome additions, and these will be very useful when I don't have the topper on. When I have the topper on, because sometimes we do game with it on, I gotta find another place to put our drinks. Like this side laptop tray here seems pretty good, very sophisticated, I know. As the board game reviewer, I also just spend a lot of time in this room by myself, so that's moving the topper by myself, so more workout for me, but it is getting slightly easier. But like also for all this is the V2 rendition of the Origins table, so some of our complaints might not even matter anymore. If the size and look of the Origins table really speaks to you and you don't need a topper, then yeah, this is pretty good. The neoprene mat trays feel like a must to get, so budget yourself about $100 more on top of the base table. And then be mindful of leaning your forearms against the rail, but this might not be a problem for some groups. Actually, you know what? If you have some type of board game coffee shop or game store, this would be an awesome table to get. It looks very inviting for customers to game on, you don't have to worry about buying a topper, and it has lifetime warranty. No one is really gonna mess with the cup holder system since it's pretty much built in as opposed to other tables, so the cup holders won't break or get lost. And if you don't want customers gaming for too long, maybe the forearm discomfort can work in your favor. If I were to imagine myself looking for an entry-level hobby table for $2,600 MSRP or even under $2,000 sometimes with lifetime warranty, that would be totally doable, and then I would just slowly tweak the table over time to suit my needs. And I bet you some more non-board gamers would see this table and just be down to play something right away. One of my buddies saw the Origins and immediately wanted photos with it. Maybe that's it. You just get this table and the look of it is the final tipping point to get your friends to play board games with you. Genius! Screw the concerns, as long as people are playing games, that's all that's good. Seriously though, if the Origins looks like it fits your needs, we have a link in the description below with a coupon to get a free customized playmat. Anything that you like. Anything. Again, if you want this custom play surface of your design worth $200 for free, go ahead and use our coupon code Shelfside for Game Theory tables. Every purchase supports the channel. Thanks for watching the video, guys. This was the Origins table. Yes, it was sent to us by Game Theory Tables. And we also have our patrons to thank for making videos like this possible. Thank you guys right here. Let me know what you think of this table. Yeah, it's definitely a cool look. My non-board gamer friends do actually like it. And also, thank you to our Mad Lads of Cardboard. Thank you guys so much. That's the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Bye-bye.